Never sitting still. The genre of this prose is an autobiography. Okay. Now let us understand first what is an autobiography before reading an autobiography. An autobiography is the story of a person's life as told by that person. Please underline. What is an autobiography? It is a story which is told about the person's life by the same person himself. Okay. For example, now if you will be studying about the autobiography of Sachin Tendulkar. So he himself is going to tell you about his personal life. That is called as autobiography. Understood, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
What's an autobiography?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The subject of the story is also the author. Okay. Subject means the person about whom the story is. He is the author of that particular book. Mostly autobiographies are written in first person point of view. See children, why it is called as first person point of view? Because if it is about me, if I'm writing about me, I'll be the first person. Okay, I'll tell my point of view. But if somebody else writes it, it won't be called as the first person point of view, right? That will be the third person then. Clear?
Ma'am, why not the second person?
The narrator or the person telling the story is also in the story, right? That means if Sachin Tendulkar is giving us an autobiography of his life, so although he is a narrator, but you will find him also in the story. Okay, the person narrating and the person seen in the story will be the same. You can tell if a story is written in the first person if the narrator uses the personal pronouns. Now, how do we come to know whether it is in first person or second person? Because
I.
Personal pronouns, I, me, and mine. Okay. For example, if you are writing an autobiography about yourself, you will usually use personal pronouns while writing, okay, about your autobiography. While narrating any incident about your life, your personal thing, you will use personal pronouns such as I was going over there, it was me. You will use my as a personal pronoun. Okay. Autobiographies are usually book length, since the author usually covers the events of his or her life, her entire life. So autobiographies is what? It is a usually book length kind. Why? Because in the autobiography, what that person is going to cover, all the important events of his life, you know, which created an impact of his life, or any incident or any accident which had occurred in his or her life, and it became the turning point of his life. So he will include all those events. Have you all understood what is an autobiography, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is Black Beauty an autobiography?
Understand that there's a difference between autobiography and biography. Autobiography is written by whom?
The narrator.
The narrator or God.
The author or the person who's writing the autobiography, he himself narrates about his own personal life events. Okay, in biography, what happens? What is a biography?
Ma'am, someone else
writes about
writes.
someone else.
Yes, some other person, second person writes about the other person's life. So here, if it is a biography, will the person use personal pronouns while writing a biography?
No, ma'am.
Okay, personal pronouns will be used when, children? Only when the person,
Autobiography.
only when we are writing about our own personal events. Okay, that is an autobiography. So now this particular prose, that is never sitting still. What is the genre of this prose? What is the genre?
Autobiography.
Looking at the picture, can you guess whose autobiography it would be?
Sachin Tendulkar.
Sachin Tendulkar. Do you know who's Sachin? What knowledge or what previous knowledge you all have about Sachin Tendulkar?
Ma'am, he's a very
famous cricketer.
Youngest
Okay,
cricketer.
famous
Ma'am, the
cricketer.
greatest.
He is now not the youngest cricketer.
Okay.
But he was the youngest cricketer.
Okay. What else do you all know? Just tell me what else do you all know about Sachin Tendulkar before we.
He came from a very poor family.
Okay. Okay. What else?
Ma'am, he was the captain of
Ma'am, yes, he was the captain of Indian.
He liked to eat food a lot.
Yes. Now let us see whatever information y'all had about Sachin Tendulkar. Was it right? Was it wrong? Or what he has to tell you about his own personal life? Let us study. Are you all interested to know much about his
Ma'am?
personal life?
yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, he is the first player from India.
First player from India. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. What else? What else? First, which player? You need to justify.
Ma'am, means to score a century, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, that's true. That's true.
And ma'am, the third in the world.
Yes, very good, very good. Okay, so are you all excited to know his personal story from his own point of view?
Yes, ma'am.
Let us study, because see, what here the difference in autobiography is something, very personal things which only that person knows about himself. You will find over here. If a person is writing a biography, he won't include minor details. But here you might find minor details, right? Let's see. Never sitting still. Undoubtedly, I had a fascinating childhood. My early years were never boring. In fact, quite the opposite. I can trace a lot of stamina and inner strength that sustained me during my cricket career to those early years, which were full of fun. Okay, so now he meant to say that his childhood was quite fascinating. All right, it was never boring. In fact, it was very full of energy, full of fun, full of strength, inner stamina. Okay, inner strength. Now let us see what exactly his childhood was all about. If he's saying it was quite fascinating, let's see how he grew up. We had moved to Sahitya Sahawaz in 1971. In my growing up years, there was a great deal of construction work taking place. So when they moved there, now initial years, okay, when he was growing up, they moved to a place called Dash. What was the name of the place, children?
Ma'am, Satya sounds
Okay. Now over there was a construction work which was taking place. Now, this gave me and my friends the opportunity to play quite a few pranks on our neighbors. So he was quite, as he told, his childhood was fascinating. So he even played pranks with his neighbors. Now let us see what he did further. While we were never violent and never caused bodily harm to others. Okay, although they used to play pranks and all, but he's justifying that we never harmed anyone. Okay, whatever pranks they were playing. I'm ashamed to admit we sometimes enjoyed having a laugh at the expense of other members of the colony. So that which usually happens, if you all are staying in a colony, you usually laugh at your neighbors, you make fun of them, but physically you never harmed anyone. But that's what he's trying to justify. We used to have fun, we used to play pranks with the neighbors, okay, we used to laugh at them, but we never harmed them physically. Okay, for us it was fun, plain and simple. But looking back at some of the mischief we got up to now is rather embarrassing. So what he's saying that, okay, during childhood, he did all such mischievous things. He played pranks, all right. But now he's saying that when he looks back, okay, to what he had done, he feels rather embarrassing. Okay, I did this. Have you also done something like that when you all were small children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
things you can do? How you would you irritate your neighbors or
I'm like
have
when they
pranks
are
with them? Can you
I'm
name?
like when they are going in the office in the suit and
I
all, we
never
used to
have.
throw water on them.
Who you? You did that?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Ma'am, I
my.
never
Ma'am,
have
when
done that.
it was
Answer
like
it one by one so that I can
Ma'am, in my
understand.
society, we would just ring the doorbell and run
I
away.
was expecting this answer. I was expecting this. Most of the kids do this. You know, they go, they ring the bell, and they instantly come downstairs. This is how they
Ma'am,
used to
I also
trouble the
used to do
neighbors.
like that only.
Ma'am, I never have done anything like that for some reason.
Ma'am, I'm not
During Holi, we put water
Even
from
I used to do that.
people who are down.
ma'am, when it's Holi, we used to go inside their house and like there all the floor and all the walls would be colored in different.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am,
ours
now
was
I remember.
also.
Ma'am, we used to
That
stay in a
festival,
balcony.
that, you know,
Ma'am.
even neighbors would understand. But this is very unusual, you know, when neighbors are sleeping, usually at that time you will go and ring their bell and come downstairs running. This is
And
what
ma'am-
usually people do. But
Ma'am,
now if
I
you're
remember now during Holi, we used to stand in our balconies with the water guns and then we used to shoot them from up.
Ma'am,
Everyone.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, we used to even throw water balloons in other.
Holi and some car would pass, we would just color the whole car
ma'am,
and
at,
it would take
Yes, ma'am, or we
days for
would
them to
throw
remove
water
the
balloons
colors.
on them.
ma'am, some of the
Okay.
kids and me just throw toilet water on them on Holi.
Okay. But then children, now if you think, see, you did all these things when you all were, you know, little bit younger, okay, at your childhood days. But now if you think, how do you look at those things now?
Ma'am, now feel a bit embarrassed.
No,
Really?
ma'am, I still do it.
See,
sometimes we
still
do
like
it,
to
ma'am.
do it.
Never
I
been
still like to do it.
Ma'am,
feel
I
that
also
was-
still do
it's
it.
right to trouble your neighbors.
Ma'am, it feels good.
Ma'am, like at
Ma'am,
night
during
we
Holi,
go
it's
down and
okay.
just shout like and then run away. So everybody comes and sees what happened.
That also, yes. That also children do. I agree with you. They'll just go, they'll scream and they'll run away from that. They do that. But
it
yeah,
feels
yes, you know, here if we will see in the autobiography, he's saying that now when I look back to whatever all such mischievous things when I used to do in my childhood, when I look back, so I feel a little bit embarrassing of myself.
Ma'am, one more thing we would do is the bigger bhaiyas would bring their mobile phones. So what happened was we would give our mom and dad's numbers to them and they would prank call our mom and dad and tell you have won 1 crore lottery, 2 crore lottery.
Okay. So instead of giving your number, you used to give them your parents' numbers. Okay, that's good.
And when we
Next.
when we are not we
Okay,
don't have
okay.
phones and that
Okay.
all things.
Yes. One of a regular trick was to dig a deep hole in the sand left behind by the contractors and cover it with newspaper before disguising it with sand. Oh my God. What does the word disguising mean? Let's see.
Ma'am, they hide it. They cover
Disguising
it up
means
with
give
sand.
someone or oneself a different appearance in order to conceal one's identity. Please note down the meaning, everyone. Please note down the meaning. What does the mean disguising mean? That means you give a different appearance in order to conceal the real identity. Okay, conceal over here means hiding. Okay, in order to hide one's identity. All right. So what did the narrator, what is the narrator telling here? What they used to do? They used to dig one trick. What they used to do is they used to dig, since construction work was going on where they used to live. So what they used to do, they used to dig a hole, a deep hole, and then what they used to do, they used to cover that hole with the newspaper, and over the newspaper they used to just put little bit of sand so that no one realized that there's a hole in the below that. Okay, then we would deliberately lure people to walk over it. As they sank into the crater, we would be in fits of laughter. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone understood what they used to do, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
they
so
used
the
to dig a
newspaper
hole,
used to
cover it,
crumble down.
okay, so that it is not visible, and they used to make people walk over it. And when anybody used to fell into that particular hole, they used to give, they used to have a big laughter. You all also did something like that in your
Ma'am, but this is physical violence.
a flat system. We do not have a lower ground houses. Earlier they were having constructions going on, and the houses were at the ground floor, so they could do all these things. Okay, now you all have found out different ways. What you all do? You all ring the bell and you all come down, isn't it? You all run away from
Ma'am,
there.
one more thing. Ma'am, you just press on you come out.
That is
Yes,
also
ma'am.
this is also
Yes,
true.
Ma'am,
ma'am.
when some grown up was going to the office, we would just click all the buttons and run away from in
And
the
so
lift.
you would irritate the person who wants to use the lift. You will just irritate, right? You all do that, is it?
In our lift, what is it? There is a button which directly closes the lift's door. So when we stopped at the floor, so we would just keep pressing the button so the door wouldn't open only, and then it would just pass the floor.
Okay, and at times, I have also noticed children, deliberately keep the lift door open so that, nobody, if anybody wants to use it, they won't be able to use, because the door needs to be closed, right?
Ma'am, yeah, we put our chappal.
Ma'am, if
Okay. Another was to pour water on unsuspecting passerbys by
Yes, ma'am, I did that.
yes, this is what you all also did. By from our apartment on the 4th floor. And I remember that feasting on mangoes picked from the trees we weren't supposed to touch was also a favorite pastime. So what he used to do, children, if any neighbor has told you to pick mangoes from my trees, purposely children would go and do that, right? Yes, deliberately they used to, you would pick it. Okay, got it? The forbidden nature of the act made it even more compelling. Okay, and the complaints that would follow did little to put us off. So if anything, anybody or any person, any neighbor told you don't do this, so the children has a tendency to do the same thing over and over again. Have you noticed this? If your parents and if your neighbors are asking, don't do this, don't pick mangoes from this particular, don't harm this tree, or don't disturb the pets and all, you all deliberately have the tendency to do the same thing, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a full of
on purpose.
complaining about yourself. You did so and
Ma'am,
so.
and
Okay, yeah, you do it on purpose. That's true. Finally, and this is very embarrassing looking back now. So now when he thinks, he's saying that when I think about all such events, I feel a little bit embarrassing. Okay, that this is how I used to trouble my
Then
my
next
friends,
one.
and I would take pride in locking people in their flats. Oh my God.
Ma'am, this one I also used to do, but with my friends only.
What you used to do?
I would just
but how
do
can we
the.
lock?
You do that. Most of the they just go and they close the latch from outside of the.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am,
we never
would
do
just
that because
close the latch and just go away, and after like half an hour, then we come back and open the latch.
You did
So our
that,
friend,
Ayush? Really?
ma'am,
my
we
friend only, but
never do
with my
that.
friend.
Yes, ma'am.
On the event of
That's
like
not good.
15
That's not
August,
good
we
because
used
see, it is not correct. It can be little bit dangerous as also. So don't do that.
What if someone?
Ma'am, because
never
somebody has
gets-
come and locked my door once.
It wasn't dangerous, but the resulting delay, which must have caused them immense frustration, seemed very funny at the time. Okay, so what they used to do, they used to go and lock the people inside their flat at times, but and how they used to enjoy this locking, because at times when people have things to be done on emergency basis, so they used to get delayed. So this would give them some, happiness and fun. So this is what they used to do as child. As a child, I was first enrolled at the Indian Education Society's New English School in Bandra. Please underline this. Which school he belonged to? Indian Education Society's New English School. Okay, this school is in Bandra. Enrolled means what? Children, the meaning of the word enroll?
Means to go.
Yes. Enroll means officially register as a member of an institution or a student on a course. So I have enrolled in a drama school myself. That means I have officially registered my name in so and so school or an institution. Okay. Enroll means officially registering. I think it's so. I was a reasonable student, and though I was never a class topper, I did not languish at the bottom either. So he meant to say he was an average student. He was neither the class topper nor at the bottom also. So somewhere in the average. While school wasn't altogether boring, the best time of the year was the 2-month long summer break. This is what everybody likes usually, isn't it? You're desperately
Yes,
waiting
ma'am.
for the summer break.
Yes.
Ma'am, but later feel bored.
I would hurry down to our apartment at 9 a.m. and would be out in the sun playing for the rest of the day. So this is I think usually everybody's holiday routine, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
This is
I
holiday,
would.
you get up early and throughout the day you just
Go
do one
at
thing.
9
That's
play
playing.
cricket.
Yes or no?
I would wake up at 8:30, brush my teeth, eat some breakfast, and go to play at 9. Then come back at 3 o'clock and then take a bath.
Okay. So this is what, you know, you all desperately wait for the summer break, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now we
Yes,
have come
ma'am.
across two words over here. Let's see what is the meaning of reasonable. I was a reasonable student. What is the meaning of the word reasonable? Let's see that. Reasonable means having sound judgment, fair and sensible. That means it's like neither correct nor wrong, average, in between. Okay, fair judgment. Now there's one more word, that is languish. Let us see the meaning of the other word, languish. What does languish mean? Languish means lose or lack vitality, or other meaning is grow weak. Plants may appear to be languishing simply because they are dormant. Okay, so here the meaning. Have
Ma'am,
you
it's
all
the last
understood till
period.
here,
You can
children?
take some extra time.
Have you all understood till here, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone? No, I'm not happy with your response. One more time.
Yes,
Have you all
ma'am.
understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Please understood, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Let's stop here for today. We'll continue.